And welcome back to Friday's Who Would Win. This Who Would Win comes to us from Guillermo El Costa. I'm saying your name like that, Guillermo, because Guillermo is a great name to say. Guillermo. So Guillermo Acosta. Guillermo, you asked the question, who would I fight? Trunks and Gohan versus Godzilla. So obviously, this is a fight that on paper you think is easy. But you have to throw a couple caveats in there. Are Trunks and Goten allowed to fuse? What version of Godzilla are you using? So first off, if they're fighting together, which is what you gave me, then they should be allowed to fuse because that's what they trained for. Um, so if you're allowing Gotenks in there, who is easily a planet buster to solar system level, if not higher, because this is an individual who was able to go at Super Saiyan 3 bust through a dimension by screaming, then um, then yeah, I would think that most versions of Godzilla are not going to be able to compete with this character, Gotenks. And even the strongest versions, which would be Singular Point Godzilla, who I still need to get acquainted with Singular Point Godzilla. Godzilla Earth, we have in the thumbnail. Heisei is a very strong who could survive a black hole to the face and absolute zero cannon to the face, and the absolute zero cannon is no joke. Millennium series, which is sorry, Heisei. That's not Heisei. That's Millennium, but still, Millennium Heisei with the burning Godzilla. The comics Godzilla, which took on Zeus, Thor in the Marvel universe. Um, so I mean, if we're going basically with the scenario where Gotenks is going to show up, is any version of Godzilla capable of taking that character down at its strongest, which would be Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, but only for about 5 minutes, because that's the catch 22 on that. And so let's just go up the list, I guess. Showa era would get his ass kicked, absolutely. In fact, let's be very clear now. Any Godzilla that does not have at least a planetary levels worth of durability is probably going to be tanked by Gotenks. Gotenks admittedly is cocky, but when push comes to shove, Gotenks will get the job done most times, more than not. But yeah, Heisei is definitely strong. Is a much stronger version than Showa, certainly. And if we're going with burning, I mean, his regeneration was on the scale that he could start just regenerating in the minute he got hit. The thing is, though, Trunks and Goten really would just have to outlast Burning Godzilla. And being able to fly and hide away from Burning Godzilla would pretty much just allow them to outlast until they burned up. So I would probably say Trunks and Goten, as well as Gotenks, who can still attack from a distance. Although they'd have to basically use their strongest attack just to take that Burning Godzilla down. Even that might not be a guarantee. It's once we get past those ones that we start to see a lot more of the stronger versions of Godzilla, in my opinion, mind you. Shin, I think they can take down Shin without too much difficulty. Shin is very slow. He'd basically key himself up to be put down. Shin is adapting, but if they blow his head off, it's kind of a moot point, which they could very well be able to do even on low, even if they just are in their base forms. Because we again, these are Super Saiyans, and their power level is certainly somewhere in the upper millions, at minimum single-digit millions, which is well beyond planet busting at that point. So they should, in theory, be able to take like a Godzilla's head off without too much difficulty. Shin's just got the problem of constantly evolving, so if you don't put him down quick, he's just going to keep evolving. Then you have Legendary's Godzilla, who's probably one of my favorite versions of the character. Now, apparently, this version of Godzilla has survived multiple nukes, has survived falling from atmosphere enough to actually start burning up upon, re-entering, the Earth's atmosphere. And we see able to blast a hole to the very center of the Earth and use up only about half his power, which actually gives you an idea just how strong Legendary Godzilla's straight offense is. That he can bust a hole through the center of to the center of the planet and be like, I'm only at half strength. Um, so yeah, so durable, thick hide, difficult, but it's also the most animalistic, like the most conceivable version of Godzilla we've had. So I think it's probably one of the easier ones to beat. Then you get Godzilla, who has a protective energy field around him, can can basically blow up singularities along the Millennium series too. Whew. Though Millennium series and Godzilla Earth, and I mean we can go into the comics if we want, but I find the comics kind of a moot point to many degrees because the comics are everywhere, whereas the film series have a definitive route we can go. Uh, and again, I'm not very familiar with Singular Point Godzilla, so I can't really say for certain. It's Earth and Heisei who I think are the two biggest contenders for actually beating Goten and in Trunks, and this is due to this is due to sheer durability and firepower. Both were able to attack singularities, black holes, and actually stop them. As Godzilla blew Ghidorah back into a singularity and basically caused a black hole to collapse in and on itself and blow up. Heisei had a black hole basically fire right up, and he launched his atomic breath at it, and then it blew up in his face, and he was fine. He took a meteor, basically an extinction level event, straight to the face after attacking with his atomic breath, and he was fine. He walked that off. Survived the absolute zero cannon, which reduces all molecules to absolute zero, a few degrees shy of absolute zero, stopping all matter, and he took that to the face. So the truth of the matter is, and then Godzilla Earth, first off, is the larger version of Godzilla by far, at almost 1,000 feet tall. Like, let's use. Hold on, I'm just gonna get my enlarge myself real quick. Let's use for scale here. Let's say the height of this is where Godzilla Earth is. These kids that would make this about 450, roughly speaking, about not even 450, more than that, like almost was 500, 220, 250. 225, 75. Like the kids don't even register. That's how big Godzilla Earth is. And he has a protective energy field around him. And his, along honestly with Shin's, is one of the deadliest atomic breaths we see within the Godzilla series. So, and going up against those two, it's not a matter of being a planet buster. It's a matter of, do you even have the firepower, period, to take these things down? I'll be flat out, straight out honest. I do not know if Gotenks has enough firepower to put these things down. And let me preface that by saying, because there's no way Gotenks last in a long-term fight, and these two have the best firepower and the best durability. So Gotenks is not going to be able to put these guys down, because I'm pretty sure they have enough durability to survive a 5-minute fight with Gotenks. Even if Gotenks goes point blank full-on blast, he might injure them pretty badly, but that's going to use up whatever energy he has. So, I don't see Gotenks winning a fight with them just because his time's going to run out too quickly. And by that logic, I don't see Trunks or Goten outlast these guys unless they try to go and, recoup for time and try to fuse again. But at that point, Godzilla's regenerative factor comes in, and therefore it starts to heal back up. And so it's basically, I don't see a way out for Goten and I keep saying Goten and Gotenks. Goten and Trunks, because they can fuse, try to put the damn thing down, and they'll probably just fail, particularly with Godzilla Earth, who has a natural force field around him. So, yeah. Now, that being said, with the majority of the versions of Godzilla out there, I do think it would be Trunks and Goten who take the victory. It might drag out a bit. They might have to be a little strategic about it, but I think they're going to take the win, ultimately. So, my money goes on Goten and Trunks about... I'm trying to think of all the Godzilla versions. That one. I'm going about 8. So they're gonna win about 80% of the time, I'd say. they're going to win against most versions of Godzilla. But there's a couple versions where I just don't think they have it. They have the ability to do anything against them. Like, honestly, and I'm not trying to be facetious. I just don't think they're really capable of beating these things. But that is just my opinion ultimately. Ultimately, though, what is your opinion? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks